Hello everybody. Today let's talk about this Worx 20 volt WG547.9 electric leaf blower. I've had it for a few years. It's been pretty good. Problem that I've had with it recently, earlier this year, was it started to develop a slight vibration and it wasn't blowing as well as it used to. What I realized was the fan motor inside was getting a little bit stiff and dry, the bearings or bushings or whatever. And so the solution was to get in here and lubricate that fan motor. So you can see it right there, the fan. It's hard to see, but right in there that fan started getting stiff with all the miles and usage and dust going in there, and it needed lubrication. Let me take the end of this thing off. I'll be right back. Okay, now that I've got the nozzle off of it and the battery disconnected, if you look down inside of it right here, you can see the fan. So that's the tip of the fan right there. You can flip it around to the back. Let's look around from the back side. There's the fan inside of there. Well, there's the fan motor in there. There's basically a shaft with bushings, and those bushings get dry. And so what I normally do every so often, if you see right there, that's the end of the motor shaft. I'll get in there with my oil gun and I'll squirt a couple of drops of lightweight synthetic oil, and I'll let it sit where it'll run down the shaft, and the fan helps loosen the fan up. So once you do that, just do it every once in a while. Don't put a lot of oil in there. It'll make a mess inside the unit, but just put you a couple of drops every once in a while right there on that shaft. Let this thing sit. You may want to turn it around right here. Let me get in there where you can see, but right in there you can see that there's a spot right here, right there, through that hole. You can see the other end of the shaft. Put you a couple of drops of oil right there and let it sit straight up and down like this, so the oil will work its way down there on those bushings. So there's a couple of holes all the way around that tip, that cone. You can go in it, any one of those. Just put you a couple of drops of oil. There's a good view right there. Right in there. Just put you some synthetic oil in there. WD-40 won't work as good because it'll blow out of there. It's too thin. But a couple of drops of synthetic oil. Let it sit for a while, and this thing blows like new. Anyway, let me go get my oil gun and I'll oil can, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, I was able to take this oil can and squirt some oil right there in that hole. You can see around that shaft, it's all lubricated and oiled really good. I was able to oil it pretty good this time. So what I'm doing right now is I'm letting it stand vertically for a while. So that way that oil will seep down between the shaft and the bushings or bearings. And once it sits for a while, what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over upside down and repeat the same process on the back side. So what I'd like to say is, if your leaf blower starts to develop a vibration and it's not blowing as good as it used to, you may want to do this process. And the reason why is because if you don't do anything about it, that motor right there is going to wear out, and it's going to get worse, and it could actually overheat and melt that plastic down in there. But anyway, hope this information helps, and I'll talk to y'all later. If you found this video helpful, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Thank you. And remember, don't be destructive. Fix, repair, create. Make the world better.